Well, hello everyone. I had the wrong screenshot here. Welcome to today's live stream. We're going to try this again. What makes this singer great? So we tried this last week and I couldn't share my screen. I just tried it out. It all works. So we can do this today. So what I want to do with this series is really just to kind of have a live chat instead of me doing a reaction to a singer or an analysis that I just sit here by myself and then record it. I just want to do it live and I want to hear your opinions and I want to have a discussion. Because a lot of times I get comments where I would actually like to have a little bit of a discussion going on. Now, looking at singers who are great is a great lesson because you can learn the good things and you can also learn maybe what to maybe not do, because even though someone might sound amazing, it doesn't always mean it's the healthiest way to sing. So thanks to everyone who's here live. I see some thumbs up already. So if you are here live, if you're watching, please drop me a comment. And well, since I don't have any suggestions, why don't we just take a look at it? Well, if you do have a suggestion, drop it in the comments. What singer would you like me to take a look at? And then we're just going to determine, we're going to find out, why does it sound amazing? What makes them great? What makes them so unique? And, it's like painters. You don't really ever want to copy anyone else, but if you want to learn how to paint, you can actually learn a lot by copying someone else's painting. If you were to try to copy the Mona Lisa, so if you were to learn oil painting, you could learn a lot. If you can find out how it was done, then you can learn all these lessons of what the technique was that was used, what were the colors, what brushes, what stroke, and what technique. Oh, thank you, Toshi. You're here again. Very faithful. So Toshi, if you have a suggestion for a singer that I could look at right now in here, we're going to pull it up. And since we're live, YouTube can't, at least while I'm live, it can't do not publish, because sometimes we have problems with those videos because there's a copyright claim, although it is fair use to just analyze and use it for teaching purposes. Let me know if you have any suggestions. So recently I've reacted. I actually like reacting to singers that I don't know so well. And I also like looking at singers that I'm actually very familiar with. It's really funny because I recently did an analysis and reaction to Whitney Houston singing that live version of I Will Always Love You. I think it was absolutely sensational. That video didn't get a lot of clicks. It must not interest a lot of people. Maybe it's because everyone's like, yeah, Whitney Houston is amazing anyway, and we know her. Judy Garland, that's a good one. Why don't we do that now? But again, even those old time singers like Judy Garland, classics. Why don't we look at her classic version of Somewhere Over the Rainbow? And let's see. Let's actually not look at the movie version. Let's look at a different version. Oh, let's look at, why don't we just compare this? I see one version, Judy Garland at 21 singing Over the Rainbow. And then there's another one, Judy Garland Over the Rainbow, last performance. So she passed away in 1969. And this must have been her last performance. Yes? Okay, let's look at Judy Garland first and then we'll see. So can everyone see my screen? Give me a thumbs up if you can see my screen. So I'm pulling up YouTube here and I'm just going to go ahead and pull this one up. And we're going to look at this old version. Okay, I want to pause and I want to make some comments. What I notice here is, and this is very typical for that time period, very consistent vibrato, not a lot of straight tone singing. The vibrato is on, turned on the entire time. Also, not a lot of dynamics here going on. However, why she sounds great is number one, she has a very distinct timbre. She has kind of a, like for being such a young girl, even there, she kind of has a darker voice. And she also has very good control over her voice. So very consistent, nice vibrato, good timbre, wonderful, perfect intonation. But now what I want you to listen to is how she sings through the phrase. So what makes this really very musical is how she goes from one pitch to the next, how she phrases. So lots of little bitty scooping, a little bit of tying over and sliding into the next pitch, but not overly done. It's just very subtle, but it's enough to make it very, very legato and connected. See, somewhere on the W and the we, she kind of slightly pulled it up. See, behind me, behind, nice sliding up. So, and then the pickup, where troubles, there's not a lot of dynamic difference, but you can hear the downbeat is what it's gravitating toward. Where troubles melt like lemon drops. See, she slid both. Where you. Oh, nice. So she goes very crescendo on the top, and then she decrescendos as she portamentos down. Find me. Nice. Nice and soft. And here again, beyond the rain. She had a little portamento in there. Okay, this is almost like a very typical ending for that time back then. Okay, so could everyone hear and see this just now with all the comments? Okay, let me tell me and give me a thumbs up if this was all audible and visible, okay? Just remember that back then there was zero auto-tune. So she has absolutely perfect intonation. Absolutely perfect. Like in the studio. And this was all sung live. Truly live with no effects. Okay, now we're going to look at the version that says it's her last performance. So let's see. She was 21 here, and then I don't know what year this was. But well, let's see. I think she died kind of young, right? I mean, like she wasn't even in her 50s, I think. I think she must have been in her 40s. Let's see.
I must.
Okay, and then this is just an audio. We just see a photo, but I'm going to share it nevertheless. I'm going to share the screen now. Okay, let's hear it.
Sit down. Really? With these feathers and high heels. Well, it will look splendid.
No, I think she was a bit older.
The song. And this is to you, because I'm dedicated to you. Thank you for coming. Somewhere over the rainbow, way up high, there's a land that I heard of once in a lullaby. Somewhere over the rainbow, skies are blue, and the dreams that you dare to dream really do come true.
Okay, a little bit of a different arrangement, of course, but here's what I notice. I mean, her timbre has changed quite a bit too. You can still hear it's the same person, but it does sound much more mature. It has a different ring to it. And what I hear now is, of course, her vibrato has changed a bit. It's not as consistent. I mean, she still does it throughout, even the long pitches, but toward the end of a pitch, it becomes a little wider, which happens often when singers get a bit older, but I feel like it doesn't have to be. It has a lot to do with general body tension, which then has an effect on your core tension and your support. Toward the end of the pitch, it gets wider. Now, this is not to say is it good or not good. It is nicer. It sounds just a little nicer and more pleasant when it isn't as wide, when it stays consistently not so wide. But this is often something that happens with age.
Someday I wish upon a star and wake up where the clouds are far behind me.
Still, she has really good intonation and really good control over her voice. I like that here she incorporates a lot more dynamics. She sings a lot softer overall.
Where troubles melt like lemon drops away above the chimney tops, that's where you'll find me.
Much more dynamics this time. Okay. What I hear now is, I don't know if you can hear it okay, but the onset is not as accurate. She's doing these very, very soft onsets, and I don't actually know the entire story, her life story. I probably would need to read up on this a bit, but you can hear that the voice has aged. And in this case, the onset isn't as youthful, and it's just so immaculate anymore. There is a bit of, it's not as easy anymore. Those glasses.
Over the rainbow, wide and wide, can't I?
A little instrumental. Oh, she dies in London. That is...
If happy little bluebirds fly beyond the rainbow, why, oh, why can't I?
Wow. Wow, that's quite impressive how that ended. Okay, so here's what I heard. So in the version where she was really young, it was more about technique. Now in the version that was her last performance, you can hear that she has lived a lot of life by then. So much more life lived, so much more, it sounds like more experienced, right? And so taking more risks, even vocally, and taking more risks expressively. I feel like that latter version was not about perfect technique. It's about telling that heartfelt story that meant something completely different now, many years later, than it did, when she sang it in The Wizard of Oz, when she was very, very young. Oh, she was an alcoholic. I don't know the life story. I'm not familiar, but that makes sense that, her body was not in the best shape in that latter performance, but you can hear that there's a lot of maybe even pain in it. And it was very heartfelt. That first version when she was young was very innocent and very carefree. I want to say it's just like, I'm going to sing beautifully now. And that's really mainly what it was about. And in this last version now, it was not about that anymore. It was about, I'm here to tell you a story. That's my story. And that we all share. So yeah, I really enjoyed this. So there were a few more. Yes, Janet. I did send an email out earlier today that actually announced that I'm going live to everyone who's on my email list. Okay. We probably can't look at all the suggestions. So let's see. Celine Dion. Okay. Okay, Toshi, we're going to do Celine Dion. Do you have a specific song? And again, I think there are big differences between performances, even for Celine Dion, because she's been doing this for such a long time. Her very young voice, let's look at Celine Dion when she was really young and then compare it to a later version. Let's do like a very old version. Let's do I'm just looking at the suggestions, like 1981 or something. Okay, let's see. Let's look at this. It's a French piece. And it's, let's see, 1983. Let's look at that. And let's look at, it's Gloria Alleluia. It's probably that gospel song. And, okay.
La plus belle nuit du monde, c'est cette nuit de Noël où les berges étonnées ont levé leurs yeux vers le ciel. Une étoile semble dire, suivez-moi, je vous conduis. Il est né cette nuit.
I didn't know that she had this tooth. Probably she got braces later in life, but I didn't know she had that when she was young. So, but well, I'll make the comment.
Glory, glory, hallelujah.
I think it says her with her family. I think she was surprised that all of a sudden her family was there. I don't know exactly how young she was in 1983. I'm not exactly sure when she was born. Let's see. Let's look it up. What year was Celine Dion born? We have got to look this up because it's relevant. So Celine Dion, 1968. So that would have made her 78, 26 or something. Am I calculating that right? 1983 or 25. She certainly already is a great performer. She was very surprised when her family came in, but very professional about it, continuing the show on. What I noticed back then already, good intonation. She has a great high chest voice, very connected through her range, and this very consistent vibrato that is not wide at all. It's quite narrow, but not too narrow. It's not shivery. And her vibrato is a signature. It just makes it sound so amazing. Good placement, good open vowels. This is so 80s. She always knows where the camera is. So very signature for Celine. She does those little ad libs, and she also puts in the straight tones. Very nicely placed. This is so much fun. So much fun. Okay, so this was... Okay, let's see. I'm going to look this up. You saying Celine Dion's version of Aren't They All Our Children? There is this version for World Children's Day. It says, yeah, it must have been 2002. Okay, let's look at it.
Stay tuned for the live television premiere of the World Children's Day Anthem featuring Celine Dion and
Okay, we're staying tuned.
Coca-Cola.
Come on now, we want to hear the music. Here we go.
Don't look away.
Oh, Josh Groban.
An innocent face cries and searches for some comfort.
Before I go any further, is this the right one? Is this what you're talking? Is that like all the different artists looking at this? Is that the one where they all sing together? Okay, because I was like, I didn't want to comment at all the other singers then, because it seems like there are other singers involved. Okay, we'll just continue watching it and we'll just wait until Celine comes on. 2002, yeah.
Love will provide what faith has denied. All they ask is simply someone
With arms that reach
with arms that reach
and words that teach
and words that teach.
will be their strength
Yeah.
in times of need.
Every boy and girl should dance some dreams around this world. On they all are children after all. They should know. On they all are children.
So who will be there to show them love and care? 'Cause they are this world's living treasure. The heart of a child is born to wear a smile and feel the joyful without measure.
It's almost like he's a child himself.
Words that TV be the strength times of need.
Hold their heart
Oh, there she is.
in loving hands. Help them believe in love and
And as they grow, they will always know that love will ease their troubled road.
Okay, there's not a lot of Celine. Let's go to there.
you wait there, you will wait to have them fly.
Okay, so here she did what she does really well. When it modulated, she started belting high. She's really good about connecting her high chest voice to her mix and not getting too heavy. It still sounds very present, very intense. And then she does this very long, straight tone, very well supported. Just listen to how she places it. So it's, let's see, what is the word here? Can't make out the words, but it's an na na. And then she puts on vibrato. The secret here is you want to have the pharyngeal space nice and open. Of course, my dog has to bark now. But you don't want to force it. There is a shift. You have to kind of like the back of your tongue. It's like, you have to make it, you have to adjust when it's the top, when it's that top passaggio. And what you want to do is just have it more streamlined. It's almost like you want to have a very focused sound. If you go, it's just yelled. You have to find that sweet spot of where that's placed. You will find that placement where it has the that placement where it has the most ring. See, when she sings, what is the singer's name? It's on the tip of my tongue. It sounds more yelled. Celine never sounds yelled. So well supported. Oh, I love it with the kids.
They all are children after.
Yeah, you know what? To sing like this, it has a lot to do with really, really good support. It's Fly? What do you mean? She's in the end. Yes, but what's the other singer's name? What was that other singer's in the kind of brownish gown? It was on the tip of my tongue. Well supported. It's key. And also, you want to support that tone from below. You don't want to push on the throat too much. Little air, very little air to push outward. If you push too much, if you're thinking wide, then you're not achieving that nice focused tone. It's going to be very yelled. It's going to be very throaty. It never sounds throaty when Celine sings. So I just love this. Does anyone know what the other singer's name is? Am I still on? Because I'm not, it seems like, I think also something with my internet connection just messed up because like I was told that my internet connection is unstable. Can someone give me like a comment or a thumbs up or something so I know I'm still, okay, it seems like I'm still on. What are the lyrics in the high part? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the word was, but it doesn't matter. The vowel was something like an ah. It's some kind of an open vowel. And for that you have to adjust and you have to really, like I said, it's really that support from below to where you feel like you're not pushing against the vocal cords too much. You want to almost hear Yolanda. That's right. You almost want to feel like you have that perfect equilibrium of pushing just enough air through the vocal cords and having just enough closure, but not too much tension. Okay, you can still see me. Awesome. I was just thinking because there were no comments coming in, maybe something had happened because I was notified that my internet connection, I'm on the wrong Wi-Fi. Earlier today I was working and my router down here, for some reason it didn't have Wi-Fi, so I connected to the router that is actually upstairs. But, you know, it's one floor up, so the connection is not as great. Well, okay. Yolanda Adams. I don't want to keep these too long. I just want to kind of look at a couple of singers every time. This is something I do intend to repeat, maybe on a weekly basis. I tried it last week, but I might probably be back next week. If you would like to catch this and not miss it, make sure, number one, you're subscribed to my channel so you will see the notification. And number two, you make sure maybe you're on my email list. If you get on my website any of the free offers, then you can check a little box if you want to receive email updates, and then you will always be notified. I usually send out emails for these. And I have another live stream if you're interested in opera singing. I have also a stream on Wednesday on my opera channel, and we're going to talk more about opera singing, and we're going to do something similar and look at some opera singers. Let's see. Oh, hi there, Zelda. Oh, glad to hear that my videos are helping you. And by the way, of course, I just want to mention it for those of you who are interested in learning from me in a very more intimate setting. You can join my online singing school. I did put the link in the description. It's a fun community, and we have live sessions all the time, live coaching sessions, and you have access to more than 200 videos. This is all my courses. You can learn everything. You can learn how to mix like Celine, how to belt like Celine, how to do vibrato like Judy Garland, how to do dynamics, how to phrase, and how to slide and slur, and how to warm up properly. All those things you can learn inside of the online singing school. We have a lot of fun there, and I would love to see you there and get to know you and your voice personally. Elizabeth, you're in Europe. That's cool. I'm in Europe too. Suddenly many people left. Maybe there is bad connection in other parts of the world. No, well, if there was a bad connection, it was probably on my part because my internet connection was a little unstable today. Oh, I will probably do a stream on Dimash because I would love to have some discussions about his voice. I have a lot of thoughts that maybe I didn't put in my regular reaction videos. And I would just be curious to know what you think, because there are some observations that not just I have made, but several, not just one, several of my musician colleagues, like these are all professional musicians. They have very similar comments about Dimash. And I would like to share that with you all because I do have those similar thoughts. But maybe it's not a very popular opinion always. So it would be always nice to not just put it out there, but to actually do it as a discussion, you know. Yes. All right. I'm going to wrap it up for today. Thank you so much for hanging out. I appreciate it. And do subscribe to my opera channel if you are interested. Freya Casey Opera and Classical Singing, my other channel, where I share a lot of stuff about opera singing and my own process and my own practice sessions and warm-ups. It's raw and real. I basically just turn on my phone and that's how I film there. Not edited usually. Yes. Thank you so much everyone for hanging out. I will talk to y'all later. Bye.